Aloha, this is Marcie from Hawaii Travel Made Easy, and today I'm solving a flight booking dilemma that East Coast travelers ask me about constantly. Just this week, I had someone message me saying, Marcie, we're flying from Boston to Maui, and we can save $400 per person by doing a stopover in LA instead of flying direct. But my friend says the direct flight is worth it. We're so torn. What would you do? I hear this exact question from East Coast listeners all the time, and I totally understand why it's confusing. On the surface, it seems like a simple math problem. Save money with a stopover or pay more for convenience. But there are hidden costs and factors that most people don't consider that can completely flip the question. Here's what I've learned after helping hundreds of families plan their Hawaii flights. The cheapest option on your flight search isn't always the least expensive when you factor in everything. And the most convenient option isn't always worth the premium. Today, I'm breaking down the real costs and considerations for both options, plus sharing my decision framework that takes the guesswork out of choosing the right flight strategy for your specific situation. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to book the direct flight and when a stopover actually makes sense, and you'll understand why that choice is right for your family and budget. Let me start by busting the biggest myth about Hawaii flight booking, that the cheapest flight price equals the lowest total cost. Here's the stopover math nobody does. Let's say you save $400 per person by doing a stopover in Los Angeles instead of flying direct from New York. For a family of four, that's $1,600 in savings. Sounds amazing, right? But here's what that stopover actually costs. You'll need a hotel near LAX for the night because early morning connections from the East Coast are brutal. That's $120 to $200 per night. You need dinner and breakfast, which at airport hotels runs $60 to $100 for a family. If you have checked bags, you might pay extra bag fees for the additional segments. Plus, parking at your home airport for an extra day, that's another $15 to $30. Suddenly, that $1,600 savings might be down to $1,200 or less, and that's assuming everything goes perfectly. But direct flights have hidden costs too. East Coast directs to Hawaii are long. We're talking 10 or 11 hours. That's a lot of flight time with kids, which means entertainment, snacks, and potentially upgrading seats for comfort. Plus, these flights often leave early morning from the East Coast, so you might need a hotel near your departure airport anyway. The real kicker is risk management. Here's what really changes the math: missed connections and delays. I've worked with families who missed their Hawaii connection in LA due to East Coast weather, lost a full day of their vacation, and had to pay for last-minute hotels and meals while waiting for the next flight. Weather delays happen more frequently during certain seasons, especially winter. Flight cancellations can strand you in a connecting city instead of just delaying your arrival by a few hours. So here's my 5-point decision framework. Decision point number 1. What's your family's flight tolerance level? Be brutally honest here. If your kids struggle with 3-hour flights, that 11-hour direct flight might be miserable for everyone. Breaking up the journey can actually make the travel experience better. But if your family does well on long flights, or if you're traveling with just adults, the direct flight gets you there faster with less hassle. I always tell my consultation clients, consider your worst flight experience ever. Would breaking up the journey have helped, or would additional takeoff and landings have made it worse? Decision point number 2. How much of your Hawaii vacation time are you willing to spend traveling? This is huge. A stopover doesn't just add flight time, it adds a full travel day. You leave the East Coast, spend the night in California, and then fly to Hawaii the next day. That's 2 days of travel instead of 1. If you only have 5 to 6 days total for your Hawaii trip, losing that extra travel day is significant. If you have 10 plus days, that extra day might not matter as much. Decision point number 3. What's your schedule flexibility and risk tolerance? Direct flights have fewer moving parts. If your direct flight is delayed, you're still going to Hawaii that day, just later. If the first leg of your connection is delayed, you might miss your Hawaii flight entirely. This is especially important if you're traveling during peak seasons, holidays, or winter months when weather delays are more common. It's also crucial if you have non-refundable activities booked for your first day in Hawaii. Decision point number 4. How does your savings versus stress ratio work out? Calculate the true savings after factoring in hotels, meals, and potential delay costs. Then honestly assess, is that amount worth the additional complexity and risk? For some families, saving $800 to $1,000 makes a stopover worth it. For others, paying extra for simplicity and peace of mind is a better choice. Decision point number 5. What's your time zone adjustment strategy? Here's something most people don't consider: how the flight choice affects jet lag. East Coast to Hawaii is a 5 to 6 hour time difference, which is significant. A stopover in California can actually help with the time zone adjustment. You're breaking up that big time change. But it also means you're dealing with jet lag in an airport hotel instead of on a Hawaiian beach. Direct flights get you to Hawaii faster, but you're making that full time zone jump all at once after a very long flight. So, here's when each option makes the most sense. Choose the stopover if you're saving more than $600 per person after factoring in hotel and meal costs. If you're traveling with young kids who struggle with long flights, if you have 8 or more days for your Hawaii trip, if you're flexible with your schedule and don't have fixed plans for day one, or you're comfortable handling travel logistics and potential delays. Choose the direct flight if you have limited vacation time, usually 7 days or less, you have important activities booked for your first day, you're traveling during peak weather delay seasons, the price difference is less than $400 per person after costs, or you value simplicity and peace of mind over savings. Here's the sweet spot strategy. This is what I often recommend in my travel consultations. Book the direct flight for your outbound journey when you're excited to get to Hawaii and delays feel devastating. But consider the stopover for your return when you're relaxed and have more flexibility. Most families I work with find that once they do the real math and honestly assess their travel style, the right choice becomes pretty clear. But here's what I see happening constantly. People get overwhelmed by all the flight options, departure times, airlines, and routing choices. They spend hours researching and still aren't confident they're getting the best deal or making the right choice for their family. That's exactly where my Hawaii travel consultations can save you time and stress. I help families navigate not just the direct versus stopover decision, but also which airlines work best for your route, how to find the best deals, and how to coordinate your flights with the rest of your Hawaii planning. Plus, in my digital travel guides, I include specific recommendations for flight strategies for each island, including the best departure airports and timing considerations that most people never think about. The goal isn't just to save money on flights, it's to choose the option that sets your entire Hawaii vacation up for success. If this framework gave you clarity on your flight strategy, that's fantastic. You can book with confidence knowing you've considered all the real factors. If you're still feeling overwhelmed by flight options or you want help coordinating your flights with the rest of your Hawaii planning, I'd love to help you in one of my travel consultations. We can look at your specific route, travel dates, and family needs to find the perfect flight strategy. You can find information about my consultations and detailed digital guides at hawaiitravelwithkids.com. Click on Hawaii Travel Consultant for personalized flight and travel planning, or Hawaii Travel Guides for comprehensive island-specific recommendations. Remember, there's no universally right choice, only what's right for your family, your budget, and your Hawaii vacation goals. I'd love to hear what you decide. Send me a DM on Instagram at Hawaii Travel with Kids and let me know whether you're team direct flight or team stopover and what factors made the decision for you. Until next time, safe travels, and I can't wait to help you get to Hawaii in the way that works best for your family. Aloha.